JuJu with the social media. Fashion designer, creative director, actor. Did I miss one? Fashion stylist. Fashion designer, stylist, creative director, actor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And go hard.
Oh, strong.
I didn't get a new car. I got a new windshield for my car.
I love that.
I just destroyed that bar. It's fine. It's fine. What? It's really good. Bravery Familia. You already know what time it is. We are here in studio for another episode of Act Up with Alana J, a.k.a. me, your host. You already know what time it is, and I am in the studio with another dope-ass guest, y'all. Listen, Linda, listen. She is multi-hyphenated. Never duplicated. Ladies and gentlemen, there are none of those here. We got fashion designer and stylist, creative director, actor, and my friend and co-star in playing Sam, JuJu is in the building, y'all.
Hey, hello, everyone. I'm so blessed to be here today. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad that we finally got to make it happen.
I know.
We have so much to talk about, including JuJu's appearance on Hulu's Dress My Tour. Yes, credits in the building, baby.
Okay, drop the mic.
All right, credits in the building, baby. Her face be on mass screens, big screens, little screens, all screens. You know what I mean? Yo. All right, she already knows what's about to go down. We're about to get into a segment of random. All right, so we just gonna massage the brain a little bit with this one. We're just gonna warm up. We're gonna warm up the noodle. We're gonna warm up the noggin.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna do it. Marv, you got 1 minute on the clock. Oh, we got him by the guest side.
Ooh.
As a clock. Today. Okay, before this thing messes up on me like it always does. No, I'm not gonna say that. Take that back. Universe, I take that back.
Yes,
Let's go.
take it back.
Okay, and I'm going, Marv. I'm going. Assumption.
Lies.
Lady.
Red.
Initiative.
Dominance.
Ooh, department.
Home.
Proposal.
Marriage.
Thanks.
No.
Truth.
Or dare.
Office.
TV show.
Ambition.
Ambiguous.
Death. Damn it.
R.I.P.
That was on another list that I reset. Foundation.
Makeup.
Speech.
Etiquette.
Ooh. Church.
Preach.
Poetry.
Words.
Wood.
Hard.
Contract.
Deal.
Oh, deal. We ended on deal. I like that. I see a lot of deals in your future.
Okay.
Now that we've ended on deal.
Great deal.
I love that. I love that so much. Dude, I'm annoyed because the other list that I got rid of, the first word was death. And I was like, no, we're not going to do that.
And now
then
we
it came back. Damn. All right. Now, thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed it.
That was fun.
Yeah. We get to see how people think. You know what I mean?
Did you like my thought process?
I did.
It was fun.
It was.
Ambiguous.
Truth or dare. You see what she did? You see how quick she did that? Right? I love that. Maybe other people were like, false. I don't know. I don't know.
True.
All right. Now it's my turn to think on the spot.
Ooh.
Now we're doing our 1 minute rapid fire interview. All right, I gotta get you good questions.
Great.
I gotta get you good questions. Okay, come on, improv gods. Let me download some good ones. Ready? We got a minute on the clock. Okay. What's your favorite thing to do alone?
Alone.
I implied that that sounded kind of sexual as I said it, but that's not how I meant
that's
it.
definitely not what I do alone anyways.
Okay.
I like to play video games.
Ooh, what's your favorite video game?
Call of Duty to be exact.
Do you stream?
I don't. I haven't learned yet. That's the one thing I'm not hip with, honestly.
I don't know shit about. I don't know none of.
I was like,
about
get a Twitch account. You'll be great because you're a girl. You're pretty. Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
When did you start acting?
Great question. I started music videos actually, so I want to say 2015, 2017.
Oh, music videos. Okay. Where were you raised?
I was raised in Miami, born in Jersey City, and then once I did my schooling in Miami, I got accepted to FIT and moved back up here to New Jersey. So full circle.
I love that. Okay, let me get one more. What's your favorite movie?
James and the Giant Peach.
She was quick with that. James and the Giant Peach. Roald Dahl? That's Roald Dahl? Is that Roald Dahl?
Don't ask me those type of questions.
I'm
Your question is over. Yep.
Trivia time is done. Trivia time is finished. Wow. Okay. So hold on. Let me get that back. You were born in Jersey City, raised in Miami,
Correct.
then came back. So did you go to high school in Miami?
I did. I did all my schooling from second grade all the way to college. High school, and then I graduated. Which high school prepared me for college, and I got into FIT.
Wow.
As a C student and on a waiting list, and your girl done made it on TV. So you saw that full circle, like
She done made it, y'all. Grades. Listen. I wish, I used to think that grades were like, I made grades the end of the world.
no, I couldn't.
I made
that was
them
too
the
much pressure.
Dude, if I could go back and talk to me in third or fourth grade, I'd be like, girl, this doesn't
Not that
matter.
deep.
Like, go home and play Mortal Kombat.
Okay, play outside.
Or you do something.
Play
Hopscotch.
manhunt.
anything. But anyway, testament to perseverance, okay? You don't need to be a straight A, nothing, to make it in your field and make your dreams come true. Oh my God, you had a really good quote. Okay, wait. All right. First of all, I just want to say, I feel like it makes a lot of sense now that I know that you're a Miami, New Jersey hybrid. I'm like, cause I know you're a New Jerseyan, right?
Sure.
You live here now,
Yeah.
but I'm like, there's something
Different there.
I don't want to say caliente because I feel like that's mass
a little
stereotypical, but like,
spicy.
there's something. Wow. Okay. What was that adjustment like?
There was no adjustment because I was too fast for the Miami people, and then a little. I kind of just blended well in New York, and I commuted every day to college because I lived in Jersey.
Right.
But I never fit in either place, so people would assume
You
I
mean
was
New York, New Jersey? You never fit in either.
or Miami.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
even when I was in Miami, people are like, "Oh no, you're not from here." I'm like, "What do you mean? I grew up here my whole life. What are you talking about? Like you guys are just slow at fucking thinking." Like, but it just. I don't know. I guess it was just my hustle, my drive that, like, once I left Miami, I didn't want to go back to move. I do love it as a place. I love to visit my family. But the way they move their mentality is very just stay there, never, never explore and know there's other things in the world. And then, but it is still diverse within its own right. You know what I mean?
Especially because so many people from New York and New
And
Jersey
they travel and move there, migrate.
It's
And
like
then
little New York.
Yeah, and then you have different cultures, so it's cool. But I would go back every year through college to go visit my mom because that's where she lived, and everyone that I graduated with and still lived there was doing the same thing, if not a level above what they were doing. So if
Got
you
you.
started doing juquero in the club, you were now the head juquero, or you were the now security. Like
Is
you
the
didn't-
hookah the one that brings the hookah?
Yes. Oh, you don't know that? Oh.
There's a name. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a name for them. Listen, me and the hookero from Club Element on Houston Street, that was my mans. That was my homie. We used to drive to the George Washington Bridge at 4 a.m. We would get cachapas. He would wait with me till the bus came to go back to Jersey. Anyway, I didn't know he had a name.
Yeah, the juqueros, yeah. So
juquero.
for me, it was
Wow.
like,
I'm
people
slow.
didn't elevate as beyond their talents. You know what I mean? Like they just stood there.
Complacent.
Yeah.
It's because of the,
That
I
wasn't
think it's
for
because
me.
of the sun. I think the sun.
I mean,
the
you never
heat,
want to move. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's warm out there.
It melts away some of the energy that us New Yorkers and New Jersey,
We have,
New Jerseyans,
yeah.
I move quicker in the cold. I do. A lot of people like do less in the winter. I do more.
Yeah.
I have way more motivation. I'm just like the summer. I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
I just want to lay down.
Yeah, no.
On a
I'm a summer
floaty.
baby, so
Me too. What's your birthday?
June 20.
Okay.
Last day of Gemini, first day
listen.
of summer.
I am technically the last week of summer, but I am, I'm back to school. I'm September 15th.
Yes.
So-
Happy birthday. by the
Thank
way.
you. Thank you. Okay, we went all over there. But yes. Oh, okay. I relate, especially because I also lived in the South, but for a much shorter time. So I see what you mean. But I will say, I feel like my family from New York, they don't go nowhere. Like,
well, that too, but that's what I'm trying to say is like I didn't fit in either place because it was like, okay, you got the Floridians that are just staying there, and then you got the New Yorkers that they're moving fast but going nowhere.
Right, they're moving fast. They're moving fast in squares.
Just to travel, right?
On a grid.
Like there's
Like
people
Pac-Man.
who've never even been to Jersey and live in New York.
Yeah.
And then there's people who live in Jersey that almost probably never been anywhere else but New York.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel like there's people deep in Queens that never been to Manhattan. Or people deep in Staten.
Listen,
they never been to Manhattan.
So I don't know what they're
Bronx.
doing, but
It's crazy.
I can't, So, but people always thought I was maybe from the Bronx because I am a little spicy, and that's where the spicy people hang out. But
I get it.
I would be in the Bronx. They're like, "Oh, you're not from here." Well, you know what? I'm from my mom's,
Canal.
womb. That's about it. Yeah.
I am from La Mama, Canal de la Mama.
Yeah, that's it.
I relate because I'm kind of half New York, half New Jersey, and like when I moved, I went to high school in Paramus Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
finished.
nice.
I did 1 year in New York, and then I did most of high school in Jersey, and then I went to Rutgers.
Okay.
So I did.
So Brunswick.
Brunswick.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Rah rah.
Wow. That's how we do. Okay.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the show yet, but the only reason I went to Rutgers was because my dad bribed me. I got a full academic scholarship. I wanted to go to Fordham just so I could be back in New York. And I was going to commute like you did, like many people do, right? From Jersey into the city for college. And my dad was like, what car do you want? I'm 17 years old. I was like, I want an Acura TSX. He was like, if you go to Rutgers, it's yours. I said, done. Done.
Did you get it?
I got the car.
Okay,
And
good.
then
He's a
didn't
man
see
of
me-
his word.
He didn't see me for 5 years. He didn't see me for 5 years as a result.
You
of
was
that
out of here
bribe. I was
ripping
out.
and running.
I was out. Yeah. But like my friends that I grew up with in New York, they would always identify me as, oh, that's our friend from Jersey. And I'd be like,
Why you gotta? Why is that the main factor? Like, why can't I just be?
I know. So
But I always assumed you were from New York, though.
I just tell people I'm from the George Washington Bridge.
Oh, yep. You don't know what end.
Exactly.
Love it.
I'm
You grew
just
up in the
there.
middle.
That's it. If I could get a little condo on that, that'd be lit.
That's crazy. No, it wouldn't be. No, that's
She
mad
said
traffic every day. What you talking
You
about?
right. You right. But what if I got like noise canceling everything and I couldn't hear the traffic?
No, because they're doing construction. I mean,
I still feel the vibrations.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. Damn. I take it back. JuJu got me. She got me. All right. So we have so much to talk about. As we mentioned, you are a stylist and a fashion designer, among all the other things that we mentioned.
yes.
You recently, you are on the show that was recently released on Hulu
Sure.
called Dress My Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get some claps? For that? Marv in the back, throw it back, make it clap, all of that, bomb. Let's talk about it. Tell us everything. How did this happen?
Okay, so I submitted for a TV show that had no title for fashion designers in 2020, to be exact.
Okay, what was this on? Was this on like a backstage? Was this on like a casting site?
You asking so many questions.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't remember. I just know I submitted to
I'm
something.
a nosy bitch.
No, it's okay. I don't remember. That was the least of my worries.
Yeah.
Because we were in the middle of pandemic.
True.
So the pandemic occurred, and they still did the background check and all that stuff, physical, blah, blah. And then they were like, hey, we're going to actually put a hold on this due to the world pandemic, blah, blah, blah. But once this passes over, we'll reconvene. So then come 2022, I want to say, they kind of just did, hey, just want to know if you're still interested. Are you still in fashion? Blah, blah, blah. Cool. 2023. They in the beginning of 2023, they're like, hey, we're gonna kind of like, we got the pickup. We want to do another background check just to make sure in the past couple of years, boom,
You ain't got no charges.
did it again. Right. And then they're like, hey,
Make sure
something actually did come up. It seems like you were taken to court for non-payment of rent. I was like, correction. I was late on rent, and the person still wanted to take me to court, and it's already clear as dismissed. They're like, all right, cool, fine. So then July, the beginning of July, they call me, and this time as a producer, it's a FaceTime, it's a Zoom, and he's just following up. Hey, we did the background check, you came out clear, just want to confirm that little hiccup, boom, boom, boom. And if we were to get the green light, would you be interested in being part of the show? And I was like, well, to what capacity? Like, because you guys changed it so much, like the name had changed and everything. They're like, well, we still don't know, but we just want to make sure that you're still interested and you're still designing. I was like, yeah. At this point in my life, I had stopped sewing So 2017, 2018 to be exact, was probably my last fashion show.
Okay.
And I took a hiatus.
Was that your main thing before 2017, 2018?
Yes, but I was doing the music videos as well. So I was doing music videos and designing, but I had like 18 fashion shows up until 2018 when I hit a plateau.
And these were your designs.
Yeah, no, yeah.
All fashion shows, everything that
cut and sew, like I
handmade by your hands.
Correct. Yeah,
Ooh.
I didn't have a team or nothing. Like it was me. I did the website. I did the promos. Like I was getting booked around different colleges to showcase my work.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was so dope. I was getting paid. I was like, oh my god, I'm getting paid to like showcase my like collection. Like this is so amazing. Like
Girl,
I thought it was
that's
like
huge.
Yeah, I thought it was huge. But then I had to make 15 pieces within 2 weeks for a storefront.
Okay.
And now what that consisted of
like
was
a small
5
store,
pieces,
like a boutique type.
It was like a consignment type of store at the art factory. It was going to be the first clothing store at this art factory in Patterson. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Okay. Now they do like wedding things there. Like
I've heard of Patterson.
So
where in
Art
Patterson?
Factory is
just
it's
like called
a,
Art Factory.
Yeah, the Art Factory.
I have heard of it.
Yeah, like we do music videos there. There's so much stuff that. So mind you, this is 2017, I believe. And I had to make 15 pieces in 2 weeks for that store opening because I had a section. Wow. And so that consisted of 5 styles, 3 sizes of each style. Okay. So like, I don't know if you understand the capacity of that. I'm a cut and sew brand. I'm not like send it to the heat press and then like screen press something. No, like
it's not an assembly line.
I was cutting, sewing each fabric, each pattern, each thing, each size.
Everything.
Yeah. And so at the time, my boyfriend helped me with cutting because he did work in wood. So I trusted him in at least cutting out the patterns.
Okay. Shout out to him for the help.
Okay. Right, Jarrell, I see you now.
Using them hands for
right. Listen, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you what I know. Just follow directions. Nah, so I did that, but that burnt me out so much because there was so many hiccups along the way, right? Like having to sew something the same way, like repetitively.
Girl, I can't even cut out them hearts on the paper that you did arts and crafts.
So easy. I'll teach you after this. But
the same. Or the damn snowflakes that you make.
But the point was that it was just so much for me that like I bit off more than I could chew. Although it was rewarding, but it just wasn't like I had to take a break. I stepped back, hit the plateau, boom, whatever. Got deeply into the music videos. The music video led me into doing model workshops for aspiring models.
Were you were styling the music videos, or you were?
I was actually in them.
Okay, so you were like a vixen.
Acting. No.
I
was a video model.
I was a serious actor.
I was a video model.
We acted.
Correction. Yeah, we acted or danced or played a part in the music video. We weren't twerking. Okay. There's a mixed conception of that, and so I just wanted to clear that because no vixen here. No.
That's what we need.
No. I was a video model, and it was great because then I ended up doing PA in that as well, and I was an assistant director to one of the biggest directors here in Newark. His name was Nimi Hendrix, so I assisted him for quite some time as well. Got my production skills up through that, and then I did castings.
Okay,
and
what kind of castings?
Like castings for the music videos.
Oh, for the music videos.
Yeah, because all these directors like, yo, we love you, JuJu, but like, we can't keep using you for all these videos. So do you know somebody? Da-da-da. So then somebody put it in my ear that like, yo, you've been in Cardi B Boraquelo, you've been in this music video, you've been in that, da-da-da. Why don't you just start training girls on how to model? So that's what led me to doing the model workshops after I took the break of sewing.
Okay.
And I figured that, you know what, me still being in the music video area was still kind of like, I'll build the connections that I would need if I would want to pick up fashion again.
Right.
And so I would style on these sets.
Because it's all connected.
I would play all these different hats, right? So I then casted for like something really big. I casted for Spicy with Little Kim and Fabulous. I casted that whole music video, and I was also a production assistant for that.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was so great, and I got to meet her, and I wasn't starstruck as I thought I would be, but she I grew onto her, and like we just connected and exchanged numbers, and it was such a dope vibe.
That's amazing.
And Deontay Wilder was on there.
Wow.
Yeah, and he featured, so there was like a little acting scene in the beginning of that music video, and I'm like sitting on his lap, and I'm playing like the little girl, like whatever, not the little girl, I was a woman. I played the woman of that scene.
Woman.
Right. I think it was like around a poker table type vibe, whatever.
Okay.
And I say something dumb on purpose. Like I was supposed to play that blonde type of role. And then what was so cool was that was a long ass day of filming. But after that, like they loved my vibe. They loved how I produced and like was just helping and assisting. That Deontay's not from here. He's from Alabama. You know who he is, right? The heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
So that he was like, yo, do you know of any place to eat around here? In Jersey? Psst, what? You
So
know
many.
the Coach House in Union City? Took his ass there.
I know the Coach House.
Yo, I love Coach House. And I don't care what nobody says, that's the best diner in Jersey, hands down. So we took him there, made sure like he had a little private section because that was, if I wasn't mistaken, maybe a year prior to him fighting Fury, their first fight.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that was the end, I think, of 2018 or something. I forget the year. But anyways, long story short, we connected. We got cool. I showed him I was a fashion designer. And then he ended up getting shirts for me.
Getting shirts.
Yeah, like for my clothing line. And he
Okay,
ended
so
up-
he placed an order through you.
No, I told him I'll make something for him the next time he's in town. And he happened to be in town the week after. And I made him a shirt. He
Okay.
rocked it, wore it. It was young because I didn't get his measurements when I first met him. I didn't think he was going to pull through. I didn't think he was going to be in town. So he's like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be in town in like 48 hours. Bitch. Mind you, I hadn't sewn in over like a year or two. And
you had 48 hours to make this
and I
man
had
shirt.
48, yeah. Yeah. And it was
And you
still
did
small. I did it. It was small. Met him in the city, did it. And then
Did he get anything else from you, or just?
so then his security guard ended up ordering three other shirts, the same style but in 3 other colors.
So
and
this is
long
all
sleeve.
custom, like this
All
was all
custom,
customized,
all custom,
and you made
yep.
all these by hand as well.
Yep. And it was crazy and it was
Hands,
dope. And
girl.
he supported me. He flew me out to Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah,
Can't even say that.
yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that was
That's it. That's
that
it.
one. You know what
I
I'm saying?
drove through it.
And just to deliver these.
Shout out to Bama.
Okay, and it was it was just so dope because one, I didn't know who he was
Yeah.
at all, but I treated him like a human. I think that's what he loved and appreciated.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was so supportive in what I was doing and got going on. When he flew me out, he showed me where he like boxed and all this stuff. Like it was really dope, humbling experience. And like he had his water by this lake and he just showed me his whole home. That was one of his homes, clearly, amongst the others. And his security, like his whole team was just dope. And they remember me from the music video. So they're like, yo, wow, look at that. I love that you still connected, da-da-da. And
So you were just making your marks.
yeah, you know,
You were
and
just
then,
making your impressions,
and-
like with your hands and with your soul.
right.
With your
so,
vibe.
so it was just dope that people like that just gravitated towards me off of just my personality.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had those and I still have those connections, you know,
Right.
like I don't pull on them like, you know, hey, yo, can you wear this or that? But, you know, if in come a time where I'm like, hey, listen, if you need anything, let me know. I got you. They'll be like, yeah, I got you, Ju. You know
That's
what I mean?
lit. I mean, your network is your net worth.
Okay.
So that's what we need. We need to make
But reputation in this industry is so important.
Absolutely.
As a woman, because there's so many people who use their title to get favors, shall I say, sexual favors or things like that, and use it to manipulate young women or whatever. So like,
Absolutely.
I work so hard in keeping my reputation clean in this industry, both in the fashion industry and the music industry, because I'm in a little of both of them.
right.
So I don't know if that answered your question. We just kind of went on a rant. from
We
there.
we got to bring it back.
Yes,
We got to bring it back to Dress My Tour.
got it. So
Yes.
after that, I did after the music videos, I was in so many.
Right.
I
You
did
hadn't been sewing in a while.
Correct, right?
We're going-
So,
okay.
so I ended up doing model workshops. Which was that I taught aspiring models in my community here in Jersey on. I wanted to be the person I needed when I got started and get there a little faster. You get what I
that's
mean?
beautiful, yeah.
So it was so dope. By my 3rd episode, I was on Fox News for it. I was on I was on a podcast talking about it. I was on magazines, like wrote an article about it. Like it happened faster than I thought it could. I never imagined that these workshops would reach that capacity.
Yeah.
But every workshop I had at least 25 to 35 people attending. And then
That's
I'd get
wild.
people that wanted to sponsor it. I would get this dance community called NJ Salsa that wanted to come and teach people how to dance. And I would get one of the top models to come and want to teach them how to walk. And like these photographers who would want to do these photo shoots for them. Like it was just...
Sounds like a whole expo of like.
It was dope. And I was doing it in like little mom pop stores, like studios here and there. Shout out to NYC Studios in West New York.
Shout
He really
out.
believed in me. He really believed in me. His name's Lorenzo, super dope dude, and he helped me host my stuff there. And I would have panelists. I'd have directors. I had Rock Davis, who's a really well-known film director here in New Jersey. Him on the panelists. I'd have casting directors. I had plus-size model. I had male models to talk from their experience of being in the industry and talking to these people as to the do's and don'ts. And that was so successful and within itself, and that some of those people actually got signed and are doing big things now. So
just off of the connections that they made at those workshops.
Yeah, and me helping develop them as models. And I didn't fathom how big it would get. I was just sharing information of what I've learned on different sets.
And trying to give what you wish you got.
Yeah, and give it back to the community. So that was dope. So that encouraged me to be like, hey, although I may be shy, which I was never shy, but still shy, and the point of not growing up here and not having a community and building that along the way. Like, I bet you have a ride or die. I bet you know somebody from Pampers. I've moved so much in my life that I never had a day one. Yeah. So wherever I went, I had to recreate that, or I had to meet somebody. So it was really hard for me to feel fit in, or trust people to create something and believe in it as much as me to help let this thing flourish. So through that, I was like, okay, cool. What I've learned is that I don't want to say I'm a misfit, but I'm that person that I can fit in, and you throw me in any room and I'm gonna flourish. Yeah. And I led with that and was like, you know what, any opportunity that comes my way, I'm gonna speak for those who can't, or be an example or a role model for those who may be timid or shy. And that's what encouraged me to sign up for the fast forward now, right? Because at the end of 2018, I had to cut my hair. I was a beach blonde. I know it sounds doesn't make sense, but a bleach blonde. And I would get it retouched every 2 years, and I had to cut my hair off completely. So that's
because of the bleach.
Because of the bleach, my hair was falling out.
Fucked up the curls. That's the worst. That's
it was horrible
when the bleach fucks up the curls.
So mind you, this is the last. This is the last.
Curly fries. We don't want curly fries. They gotta be bad. They gotta be juicy.
It was bad. To the point that I would touch it and it would just fall out. It was. I didn't know how to take care of my hair. Yeah. I would get fancy colors. I would It was crazy. Yeah. So the reason why I mentioned that is because my last model workshop, I ended up putting a wig on, but no one knew because I shaped it to the style I always have, and I did a big reveal. And everybody was emotional. They were like, oh my God, JuJu. For me, it felt like...
Your whole head was shaped?
It was a really low cut.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a picture.
Okay.
And it was a really low cut. And for me, I'd never had my hair that short.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I wanted it. I had to.
Right.
Right. And I was getting booked left and right because of the workshops. I got booked by Hask Hair for Etsy show. I got at the Etsy show. No, Etsy show.
The Etsy Awards?
Yeah, the Etsy show. No, it's they do an expo. Okay. In New York for hair products, whatever. But Hask.
Okay. I've heard of it.
Yeah, make the makeup show. But they have it for specifically hair products and stuff like that. So I got booked for that, where I was getting my hair styled in front of a stage, and my hair was falling out in the middle of that. It was really bad. It was a really it was a peak in my career, but then behind the scenes was a really low moment for me.
Yeah, and was part of the reason you were getting booked the hair
was
at that
because
time?
Of the hair, and that's why I got in so many music videos because of the blonde hair, a Latina with blonde hair. Oh my God, curly,
bleach,
and she wears it out, boom, bop, bop,
bleach blonde curls.
Yo, I did freaking hot pink hair and fantasy rose gold, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Long story short, I revealed myself. Everybody, we had a little intimate moment, and then that was my last one because I felt like I lost my mojo, and I fell into a depression, and I felt oh my God, I would walk in the rooms and people wouldn't recognize me because of my hair. Yeah. So I'm I gotta reinvent myself. What am I gonna do? Yeah. So then my hair started to grow, but then this is now 2019, and whatever, fast forward, 2020 comes, then I was like, you know what, my hair is finally at a place where I don't feel like a boy, and I feel okay, people are noticing me again, who I am, let's see what I want to do. And fashion always stood in the back of my mind. And I'm well, I had my sewing room, I had a den in my apartment, and that's where my sewing room stood, but it was so dusty. And one day I went in there looking for something, and I went this, and I'm yo, this shit's been sitting here for almost 2 years. And untouched. Fabric, rolls of fabric, bins of fabric, my sewing, my actual manufacturing sewing machines there, everything. And I'm what am I gonna do? What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm sitting on talent.
Yeah.
So in that little
It's
moment,
literally collecting dust.
no pun intended. But then I started to teach people how to sew because some people were like interested in learning.
That's how you got back into it, was by teaching.
Sure, yes. And then the show came about, like the audition, whatever. And then, okay, are you a fashion designer? Want to get your name out there? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I thought it was Project One Way because I did submit to Project One Way one year, but they told me that was when I was 21. So this was like, I'm still in college, you know, and they're like, hey, you have amazing designs, but you don't have a collection. And unfortunately, you're still young. And I'm like, but how am I still young? But whatever. So I made it to like almost the final round into the TV show, but they're like, hey, we think that you need another couple of years of experience. Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't submit again after
21 is young.
It is, but I didn't understand that as a designer, like what that got to do with my work.
Right.
Isn't not Project Runway for young designers?
Right. Isn't that what you want?
Yeah. Hello.
Isn't this what sells? This is what's gonna bring you in those ratings, Nielsen.
But that again lit fire under my ass and like went back to like, okay, cool, let me revamp myself.
Right.
Anyways, long story short, applied, pandemic happens, boom, fast forward to 2023, I get the call, and I was like, this is, mind you, maybe 3 weeks out, the beginning of July, right after 4th of July, I get the call. Hey, would you be interested in that show? Your background check, it went,
2020, right? It's
2023.
2023. Okay. Last year. Okay.
Fast forward, skip those.
Okay.
They're not important. 2023, get the call, and they're like, hey, we check your background check. Everything's cool. You're not evicted, right? You're good. I was like, yeah, but little did they know I was up for eviction. Oh. Yeah. And I didn't say that because she didn't take me to court. At this point, she was working with me because I had lived there for 3 years. So in the beginning, since we didn't know each other, she was like, oh, well, you're like, she would just take you to court because you were late by like 5 days or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Jersey,
isn't there some sort of, there's no grace
Jersey's
period?
like that. Jersey's like that. Jersey.
I used to pay my shit like a week late in Brooklyn all the time. He didn't say nothing.
Yeah, well, Jersey's different.
Shout out to Yeshua, whatever his name was, Zebediah, whatever his name was. I forgot. It was something like that. It was a Zebediah. It was something.
It was
like that.
something, but I like that name, so we're gonna call it.
It was one of them. Hey y'all, it's your girl Alana J, and I'm here to tell you about all the magic that is happening at Bravery Studios, New Jersey's #1 podcast recording studio. At Bravery Studios, you handle all the talking and they do the rest. That's it. Seriously, all you have to do is show up and shine. Yes, honey, work. With 3 different filming locations, there's a perfect space for every type of podcast. From cozy chats to high-energy shows, Bravery has got you covered. But wait, there's more. Bravery Studios hosts monthly events and podcast gatherings, perfect for networking and connecting with fellow creators. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Bravery Studios and let's make some podcast magic together. Do it. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to.
So I was like, you know what, fuck it, why not? Boom. Mm-hmm. Mind you, at this point, I had been signed to an agency for the first time in my career as a model, actor.
Nice.
And they actually were booking me. So I was getting booked, and I had just
you did a lot of commercial work.
Yes, a lot of commercials. So I ended up getting
JuJu.
Booked. Thank you.
I see you in that car.
Okay, I mean, like, you gotta like throw things at the wall and see what sticks. I'm just saying. No, I'm kidding.
She's sticking.
I just happened to stick to a lot of things, and it was just hard to maintain. No.
Right.
So I ended up getting booked for Kia, a car commercial. We booked as a local for San Diego and LA. Mind you, okay, I know this doesn't make sense, but let me tell you, I get that confirmation, get the call, hey, are you still available for this it wasn't called Dress My Tour, for this fashion show?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I am. When does it film? They're like, oh, well, we were going to need you in LA probably by July 23rd, and you would have to pack for a month. I'm like, okay, let me just
and
call.
when did they call you? The 4th of July weekend?
Right after 4th of July.
That's how it works. But let's make you wait for 3 years. and then call you and tell you to pack for a month next week. Yep.
Right.
That's how it works.
Are you able to do it? Are you able to do it?
You better say yes.
Yeah.
You gotta say yes. Because somebody else will if you don't.
Right. Mind you.
Yeah.
Right before that, I got the call from my agent saying you got booked in LA for the end of July. So I'm like, fuck. Yeah, let me just confirm something. I'll call you right back.
Yeah.
You never call back a casting director. But anywho, I did anyways because I didn't want to double book and I had to weigh out my options. Like, is this car commercial worth it or this one-time TV show that I've been waiting for 3 years worth it? Mm-hmm. What do I do? Luckily, the car commercial was 2 weeks prior. Well, it was I think the 23rd. No, I lied. I got back the 23rd. It was like the 17th, 18th of July.
Okay.
I got back. I was supposed to come back enough to have a week to pack for a month and then go to LA. Sis, I don't know if you ever been to LA. Have you been to LA?
I have been to LA.
Do you ever find it difficult just entering LA? Not leaving it, entering LA?
Oh, how so?
Like, do you ever find there's a delay or the time difference or like everything in the universe is stopping you? There's traffic. There's
definitely, yeah.
Like just going somewhere that you really want to go. Do you ever find that? Okay, great. Well, the universe was testing my patience. So I got booked for Kia car commercial, which is out now. You guys can find that on my store.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yes, in the car. I wasn't in the car though. I just took something.
You were putting something. You were at the car's trunk.
Right. Right.
You were dealing with the junk in the trunk.
Okay. And I get that. So I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to film maybe 2 days. They changed it. Film Friday. Got there Tuesday. From Los Angeles to San Diego. I had to rent a car because remember I booked as what? A local.
As a local hire.
I had to pay for my own flight there. Right. And rental, all that shit. Right?
Yep.
Because you got to fake it till you make it.
Did you stay in a hotel?
They ended up getting me a hotel, but my friend.
That's nice.
The hotel wasn't.
I'm sure.
It was Motel 6.
Because do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers.
They paid for it.
They did. Because I stood one night.
Normally, you would have had to pay for it as a local.
Sure.
Or stayed with somebody, which
I did.
Yes.
I went to Burbank. So, traffic in LA is not like Jersey traffic. Apparently.
No, it's not.
Right, and they have numerous of lanes.
They do.
Not just two
lot
or three
of lanes
like we do. And this still filled with traffic, right?
Yep. Everyone.
So I made it in the nick of time.
All 10
to the fitting. From the fitting, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stay even further in LA. I'm going to go to my friend's house in Burbank, which was 2 hours from San Diego at this point. Go to Burbank, boom. They call me Friday. Got to be there at 6 a.m.
Dress My Tour, you need to be there 6
No,
in the
not
morning.
yet. We're still in the commercial.
Kia, you have to be there 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was supposed to leave that Monday. Mind you, I was there from Tuesday. The shoot was Friday. I had to leave that Monday back to Jersey to pack for
Dress My Tour.
I didn't get back till Wednesday, sis.
Oh.
Because I did a standby to save money. Yeah, and
because you had to pay for your own ticket.
Yeah, because I faked it till I make it. So.
Gotta do what you gotta do. You know. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I will take that voucher to fly tomorrow instead of right now.
But listen, it was a great. I was on set from 6:30 in the morning to 11:30. And I had all that time to explore LA, which was amazing. I connected with people. I was running into people who lived in Jersey that now lives in LA. I haven't seen for a year. It was just the way I feel in LA is amazing. Anyways, long story short, came back 48 hours to pack, left that Saturday, was there for 2 weeks in LA. And that's how I got to Dress My Tour.
Wow. We need claps for that journey. That was a journey.
It was a journey.
That was a journey.
Yeah.
I lived it in my mind.
Sure.
It
was crazy. It was chaotic.
Yeah. But look, in this business, girl, it's like you'll have nothing. Then bam, 3 things at once. You're not gonna sleep. You're not gonna sleep for 3 weeks, but you get to do what you love. That's just how the universe likes to play the game, likes to deal the cards.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that all happened. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the show. Yes. Talk about the premise for those. It's a fashion competition show.
Yes.
So tell us a little about the premise of the show. Because the one thing you
can I say it?
Yes, you say your part. There's a couple of things that I was like, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe they're making them do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell
So Just My Tour is now streaming on Hulu, and they were airing it on ABC every Monday, the month of July, because it aired July 23rd this year. We filmed it last year. All of this was last year, by the way.
Yeah.
And how do I start? So it's it's the first of its kind. One, it's the first fashion competition show on Hulu. So that's amazing. And it's a Black business, a Black owned show. So it's amazing.
That's lit.
Yeah, it's really dope. Dr. Holly Carter is the person who founded the show and the producer of the show.
Shout
and
out
she's
to
amazing.
Dr. Carter.
Yes, she's amazing, humble. Like, she always wanted to make sure we were good on set, like very dope. The cast was amazing, the production, the team, all that was great as well. But it's a fashion competition show, and we vote each other off. Okay, as contestants, and
That was wild.
Yeah, we didn't know that until we got there, so it was super like, oh.
And I could tell, I was
wow
like,
factor.
oh, they really didn't know that this was how it's going to go. Because, like, there's so much emotion. There's so much emotion involved. But what we loved was that we got to see our clothing line performed, because during elimination day, after working our 8 hours or whatever the case may be we had on each challenge, we got to see it perform at the elimination. And so whether that was a wardrobe malfunction, something falls off the garment, you were going to see it right there live. And I think that's what makes the show unique in that particular aspect, is that most shows you just see them walk down the runway. You never, like, this one particularly is about dressing artists that go on tour or are already on tour. Mm-hmm.
And
who are actually
really fun to see.
Moving in your clothes and whatnot. That was super cool, because I mean, I probably watched a little bit of Next Top Model is a modeling show, so no, I haven't watched. The only competition show I've watched lately is It Cake on Netflix. But
okay.
Anyway, have you seen it?
No.
Okay. Anyway,
I've heard of it. I know what it's about.
I didn't think anyone could make cake stressful. But Netflix succeeded. So anyway, it's still a great show. But has nothing to do with dance or fashion. So I was like, that's really cool that they have. So you guys are dressing someone specific. They're coming in, putting on your stuff and performing in it. And it's not just walk down the aisle, walk down the runway. It's, does it look good? Does it look good with somebody breakdancing, dropping it like it's hot, pop, locking, rocking, all of that. And so what was that like? Did that extra layer, did it make it any more stressful than had you just needed to dress someone and have them walk down a runway?
Not necessarily. I think that there's some things that were missing for the audience to understand, like the different challenges and what we had to focus on. Specifically, the first challenge, we had to do some type of reveal. You know what I mean? Like, those things weren't very communicated to the audience to understand what each challenge consisted of. The second challenge, which is with JoJo Siwa, we had to make the new beau, because we know her for having a bow. And so now that she's a bit older, and she's
I don't know
crazy.
who that was. I don't know who that was.
JoJo
Sorry,
Siwa?
I don't know who that was.
I mean, that wasn't our generation. That's why, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I was like, oh, no, this was not my generation. But she's cute, though. She's cute.
She's an interesting character. Yeah.
Yes.
And
okay, got it. So you didn't think, so basically the audience really wasn't in a position to try to pick the best one, because they weren't really privy to, like, what was required.
I mean, at the end of the day, you still got to see what outfits were there, and you would know what stood out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still able to vote what you preferred.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Because it definitely is a matter of, it's still subjective at the end of the day.
Right. So either way, the way they edited it didn't matter. But for us as designers, the pressure was on us. Like, the pressure for us was one of the things we were getting voted on for that particular challenge was making the new bow, but we had to make sure we had the pattern to submit by the end of the challenge, like the full-on pattern for it to be produced if it got chosen. Where the other challenges were a little bit elusive, like they didn't care for that, so that is what took a little bit more time for us, because some people would just throw clothes on the mannequin and just drape it that way, but no, we had to literally make sure that it could be replicated if it got chosen.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So those things were like, I wish it was like indicated, so you guys can understand, like,
the level of difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah, with the time frame, because we were like, oh, you can't make an outfit in 8 hours. Hell, from head to toe, no.
And
because
set someone else up to do it. Yeah,
but no, the thing was that we also had to style it too. So mind you, there were some people specifically that were stylists on the show. There was some people who were just designers, and therefore for me, I was both, so it was okay. Like I that wasn't challenging to me, but that does add time to your 8 hours that you have in total. You know,
yes.
What I think they might have mentioned it or so in an episode or two, but like after we sewed, we actually had night designers. So meaning like after we did because we had like about 2 days, the 8 hours was split into 2 days, or I think it was like 6 and then 2, or like every challenge had a different hour range of sewing of the garment.
Okay, so but that 8 hours wasn't necessarily all in one day.
Correct.
It'd be split up. Okay,
correct. And then between those hours, we'd have a seamstress to help us. We call them overnight sewers. So while we were sleeping, they were up all the way till 6 in the morning.
What?
Yeah, finishing whatever instructions we gave them verbatim. It wasn't like, hey, I want this peplum, skirt or whatever. No, we had to like explain to them with 5 minutes that we had to meet and, tell them, hey, from head to toe, this lining needs to be this. And we would have to write it down in instructions. And what was challenging too is that some of them spoke Spanish, some of them spoke Korean, like not everyone just spoke English. They did. That was, but some things
got lost in translation.
You're right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some people would come back and their whole garment would be done because they were great at explaining. Some people, like myself, forgot to mention, hey, make sure you sew this and that together. So that would eat up the time for the second day, which was dress rehearsal. Right.
Okay.
So it wasn't so much like the first day,
and that would be with the models dressing,
correct,
actually dancing in the garments,
trying it on to make sure everything fit.
Okay.
So that the second day we would actually have time to see them in our outfits, make any adjustments we had, but literally we had maybe two hours the most.
Wow.
With like left of the day from the day before.
That's not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time.
It's not
because remember, we're getting
time.
filmed in between, and in these hours, we're still getting pulled out to answer these questions and to produce the show.
And that's taking out of your craft time?
Correct. Well, no. We were
that
still,
everyone,
no. It felt that way, but we were all still given the same amount of time.
Okay.
Because we all agreed we would get 15 minutes taken out of that. But technically, if everyone got 15 minutes out, that would still be added technically to the 2 hours.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. I mean? Like, as long as I was making up that time.
But it still didn't feel like it. We still were frustrated because it's like, I'm in the zone. Like, you're going to call me out right now. Like, can you call somebody else out? No,
I'm in flow. I'm in flow.
Yeah.
Don't get me out of my flow.
Yeah. So it was a little, I mean, for me, it wasn't nerve-wracking to have the cameras in front of my face, but it definitely was like when I had to be pulled away from my craft, because I can multitask, but when I got to be pulled away, like, I'm there like, okay, cool, what else do I have to do? Oh, what was the question? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't focus on that aspect. But.
I mean, look, and they do say that when you're interrupted, when you're in the middle of something and somebody interrupts you, it technically takes at least 20 minutes to get back to that same level of focus. It might even be more than that, but I think in one of the 500 self-help books that I've read, it said 20 minutes, so... That's time that should have been accounted for.
No, it was.
I'm messing. So what was your favorite part about the whole experience?
So again, I loved how our garments was displayed and performed, because it's one thing to make something for someone and then not really like see it do anything. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe in a photograph,
just
maybe in a fashion show, boom. But it's different to see it and actually like see it on professionals, because these actually dancers were like people who would go on tour with artists. Like these were Lorianne Gibson literally did her thing with the choreo, and she's worked with these dancers. You know.
So those were her dancers that she's choreographed?
Not necessarily her in particularly, but that she casted for the show. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll tell you what the show has done for me now. It's a little exciting, but I thought at the moment, because I did get eliminated earlier than later, that I thought that this can't be it. Like when I got eliminated, I was like, no, this can't be it. They're gonna call me back. Like
I was mad.
Like, everyone that's seen it that don't even know me would be like, yo, you were gone too soon.
Yeah.
They probably felt threatened by you, but it was because
somebody else should have been gone first.
a couple other people should have gone first. But not to throw shade, because we are still all talented. We all still have our own niche and what we're great at. And for me, it was a rebirth. Because remember, I hit a plateau. I stopped sewing for so long.
Yeah.
So that for me was like a reminder. It's like, yo, I love fashion. And I don't got to do it at this show's pace. I can do it at my own pace.
Absolutely.
And it helped me revamp what I've got going on now. And, you know, like people are like, oh, I'm so sorry, lo siento, you know, you got off the show. Like people that knew that I was on the show. And I was like, nah, don't be sorry.
It's not even
like, although I was crying, bawling, like the producer that I worked with on the show, I told him I can't, because I kept getting emotional, because these producers are with you every day on the show, like talking to you, making sure you're good, whatever.
Like you each had your own producer assigned
Not
to you?
necessarily. There was 2 producers on the show, and they each had pretty much who to talk to. Like they each talked to us, but we had one that, you know, that
how many did it start with?
Us.
How many?
11 of us.
11 designers. Okay.
Or 12, I think, maybe 12.
Okay.
12 or 11. And for me, like when it came to the exit interview, and my producer that I got close with was there, I was like, I kept getting emotional. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't have you close me out, because we're not going to finish.
Yeah.
So we ended up having the other producer, which her name was Chelsea, which was dope. I had Markel. Markel was amazing. Shout out to Markel.
Shout out to Markel.
He was amazing producer. He was like, JuJu, you're doing too much. Like, just do it. Like he was like, you know, he would tell you how it is, and that's what I needed.
How so? When he would say you're doing too much, what did he mean? Like on camera? Like in your interviews?
No, he can't tell you how to act. But like whenever like I had a question or whatever it is, like he would be straight with me. And in that setting, you need someone to be straight and like, you know, keep you straight, like keep you on point, keep you on check. Don't overthink. You got this. Don't worry about it. Just go for it. Like it was more that like pep talk that I really loved from him,
because it felt like anybody could be a ticking time bomb in that type of scenario, what? You know?
Yo, I remember a question they asked. They're like, hey, who do you think is going to go home first and why? And I was like, well, I think it's going to be Macaulay, one, because she's young, and I don't think she'll do well under pressure. Bitch, was I wrong? I was the first one to cry on that show. and I told her, I was like, listen, like afterwards, I ended up telling her, Macaulay, I said you were going to do well, you know, like, like flake, but no, it was me, and I'm sorry, you know, like I still love you, but, and she's like, no, it's okay, you know, people always underestimate me because I'm young, and I'm like, nah, I get it, you know, don't judge a book by its cover.
Well, that's big of you to have let her know what was coming, I guess, or you know, what she could potentially expect, because I know we all know these shows are all put together in editing. So what they captured, there's so much more that's captured that we don't see.
No.
And then they spin the narrative that they want to tell.
Exactly.
So, I mean, look, I didn't know what to expect, but I was a little surprised by the tone. Not by the tone of the show. Let me not say the tone of the show, but I was surprised at like the kind of like the drama, the level of drama that ensued on the show. Maybe I shouldn't have been, because fashion is supposed, you know, depicted as this catty world. I mean, you know, freaking Tyra Banks telling Shorty she was a plus size model when she was probably like my size now, back in the 90s, you know, like it definitely has a reputation for being like a cutthroat industry, which it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why I guess because it's Hulu, I expected it to be a little more fluffy. You know?
No, not this show. This show balls out, balls in. You know, it was all out there. I think that
there are a couple of chatty Cathys on that show.
Oh, definitely.
I don't want to name drop. I could.
No, we're not giving them the green light. Not on this. Not on my interview. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
No, but it was definitely surprising. Like we all were shocked to see the edits and what was said, because we had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, no one knew what was being said behind, like when you were with a producer or whatever the case may be.
Right.
For me, luckily, like I told you, my experience, I've been on productions. I have been a producer, so I knew kind of the rules and regulations, or I kind of had an expectation of what was going to happen. Right. You know, it wasn't scripted, it wasn't produced, but
would they try to instigate?
But that for sure. You know, they need some type of, you know, something to talk about.
Conflict.
Yeah, they need conflict.
You definitely
people love drama. You know what I'm saying? So
1,000%.
But I wasn't feeding into that. And mind you, there was some scenes where I thought, I was like, damn, I hope they don't put that.
Scenes of you?
Me, yeah. Because so what happened was,
did they put any of them that you didn't want them to put?
What?
Did they put any of those moments?
No, not at all. They made me look good. They made me look good. Thank you. No, but I would, again, I say how I feel, and I don't have regret on any of that. So even if they did put that side, it was okay because people know me to be like that, raw cut. So there was this. So the first challenge, I got this male dancer, and there was a big. People were the male versus female conversation was a big conversation, and I was like, that's not even something I would have thought about. What do you mean? As far as the models that
people were concerned, the designers were concerned with getting a male versus a female. Mm-hmm. That was a big conversation that I was like, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So because it's a 50-50 chance, right?
But my thing was like, of course, that was all like staged. I feel like it wasn't a lottery of who got what. Like it was to add to the challenge. Like how can you prevail with having a male artist? I mean, having a male model for a female artist.
So you think they specifically picked a male for you and they specifically picked a female for this person?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the first time, no, because like we did handpick it from like, it was miscellaneous, like no one knew whatever. But
it seemed like a lot of the dudes got women the first round. And I was like,
it was to spice it up.
This ain't right.
Because I remember in the interview, hey, do you mind, like, would it bother you, if you like, what do you like to design for more, men or women? Would it bother if you, would it bother you if you design for just women or just male? So,
did people say, so they use that against people?
I'm sure that's how they used to make, use that to figure out who should get what, as far as the dancers. But specifically, first episode I was in, I got a male dancer, and I thought he was cool. Like, I mean, granted, he is cool. Yeah. But what they didn't include was what he said at elimination, because he was asked the question. The judge asked him, so how do you feel in this garment? And he was like, oh, I feel really hot and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? That's not what you told me in dress rehearsal. So now you're saying that you feel hot in this fabric, which is neoprene. I don't even know it. Like scuba material.
Okay.
But it's like it's a little bit more breathable material. But the reason why I like it, because one, it's dry fit.
It looked breathable.
Yeah, it's dry fit, and it's also wrinkle free. So I'm thinking smart, like,
right. You're not gonna have to iron steam.
Yeah,
nothing.
Like if this person goes on tour, they don't got time to do all that. Like boom, just put it on, fold it, you're good to go. But the thing is, they also did practice 3 times that routine. So of course, by the 3rd routine, you would be hot in anything you wear.
Absolutely. I'd be hot on the ice in a tank top when I ice skated.
Right. But mind you, you do have the lights when you're performing, all that stuff. So I get it. But I confronted him the next day when Kay, I don't even know who Kay is.
Yes.
The one who won the show.
We can say that? I didn't know if we could say that.
Oh, of course we could say that. Yeah, that's my girl. Shout out to Kay Daniels.
Shout out to Kay.
So
I made it through the whole series, but congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, no, she's a doll. She deserved it. Amazing designer. And we still keep in touch to this day. So, but she ended up getting my dancer. So I ended up confronting him.
What do you mean she ended up getting your dancer?
So we would shuffle the models.
Oh, so it was like the same set of models y'all were working with for the whole show?
Yes,
okay.
Correct.
All right.
So she ended up getting my model, and I confronted him at rehearsal, in the workroom, and I was like, hey, so what was that all about that you said you were hot when in rehearsal you didn't? And they recorded that, so I thought they were going to put that, but they didn't. They ended up putting that, so I wasn't aggressive, but I was also, a little confrontational, because it's like,
that's not what you said.
I could have been on elimination because of what you said. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, why didn't you explain that when I asked you if they fit or not?
You playing with fire. Speaking of heat.
Yeah.
Wild.
So it was cool stuff like that, though, regardless. Like, people were still down to earth and cool, so.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
When I saw the trailer, that's what it's called. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, no, JuJu, yes, Hulu. Because especially with those types of shows, like, yes, okay, acting is great. It's excellent. I love it. But that's a show where you get to just be you and do you. You know what I mean? And like, do multiple things that you love. Be in front of a camera, be on a set, be around musicians, dancers, and design and sew and do so many of your interests were just like at the intersection with that. So that was really cool to see. And I was like, this is perfect for her. This is perfect for her. Yeah. So anyway, so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you. We got to start wrapping up.
Yeah.
Also, JuJu and I weren't playing Sam together. So if you haven't seen it on the Roku channel, it is currently on the Roku channel. That's actually where we met. That's where we met, was on set.
During pandemic.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Time flies.
Crazy. And that was an awesome day. There was great energy in the room that day.
Yeah.
And now we're here, and I'm sure we'll be on something else.
Yes.
I was talking to Jason Enrique. He's another podcaster here at Bravery Studios. Shout out to First Class, Second Place. And I was like, yo, I gotta write something. I want to write and direct for someone else.
That'd be dope.
I want to write stuff for other people. And you're one of the people that popped into my head. I was like,
nice.
It'd probably be easier for me to write for people similar to me. You know what I mean? Like versus something that anyway, so manifesting, future endeavors. We'll do all the things. All right, so Dress My Tour. We did the tour. What has the show done for you now?
So when I got eliminated and I saw that nothing came from it, I thought like, oh my God, this is it. So I waited 3 years to get eliminated sooner than later. And what am I going to do with myself? It was a rebirth, like I said, far as, I really believe that I still do love fashion. I still want to be a part of it. What can I do? So I had to revamp myself. Mm-hmm. So now that the show aired, I ended up going to the premiere in LA. It was like a quick little turnaround. It was like a 72-hour turnaround because Hulu didn't really host a premiere. Okay. The production for the TV show did, and they invited me to the dinner. We actually did it at Paris Hilton's mother's house.
Oh.
Yeah, Kathy Hilton. Yeah, and I was like, her place is fancy.
Hi, Kathy.
So cute, right? It was so cute. And me, Ray, and VJ were the only designers that were able to attend because everybody else was having their own watch party. But for me, I was like, nah, I gotta watch that before I sit in a room with all my friends. Like, we're not gonna clown me. I'm too sensitive about my craft. No.
I feel that.
But it was dope because Eric Billinger was there with his wife, which is Megan's Good's sister. I think her name is Maya.
I don't know.
Maya Good. Anyways, so he was there. And mind you, I've been listening to Eric Billinger because he's a writer before an artist. And now he's an artist. And amazing, humble guy. A couple of other people were there. Cedric the Entertainer was there. Who else was there? I can't remember at the moment. But I did a little recap. And it was beautiful to just see these. Oh, I got to meet Toni Braxton. Oh. I walk in and they're like, "Hey, yeah, get in a picture with her." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, cause she was one of the artists on the show.
I did watch that episode.
I didn't make it that far, but
I love Toni Braxton.
Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful in person,
and she was so sweet on the show. You know,
yes, and even in person. And she was like, "Oh my God, like I didn't get to meet you, but you know, you what you're wearing is amazing." Cause I wore my original piece to the premiere. I literally made that in 48 hours.
Wow. And what's the name of your brand?
Junique Apparel.
Junique Apparel. Get something Junique today.
Okay, so I went there and I got to reconnect with the judges, and everybody was so like lighthearted to see me, like, "Oh my God, let's stay connected. I would love to work with you." So
that's great.
Yeah, Lori and Gibson, the way they edited us was like that we didn't like each other because I said I have a question. Like, I'm not done yet. Right.
You asked, "Can I ask a question?" Yeah. And she said, "No, you may not." And I was like yeah. You were like, "Okay."
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, because there was a moment of silence before, but the edit looked like there wasn't, but there was actually a moment of silence, so I really wanted to ask a question.
Right.
Based off her comment of my garment.
Yeah.
When I was getting eliminated.
I get it.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then we rekindled. She's like, "Hey, I have this girl group. I would love to work with you," so forth and so on. Let's stay connected. Here's my assistant's number. Boom. So we've been actually in the works and talking for me to help with her new girl group called K3 and hopefully design something for them. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, Junique Apparel K3 collaboration.
Okay, and they're actually going on tour. They were just on tour with Party Next Door, and they're going back on tour in October. Amazing. So they're in LA based, but the show has brought that for me. Is just people wanting to work with me, my personality, my uniqueness, because I've been doing a lot of upcycling now in the fashion world.
Mm-hmm. So I see your videos.
Garments. Yeah,
I see your videos. I'm like, I commented, I need a tutorial. That needs to come over.
Right. Take your measurements. I got you. But that's what I've been doing. So that's where it's led me. And I've been doing a lot of styling as well. I don't know if you got to see. I was Calypso for the Latino Film Festival the whole entire week. That's what I was doing all last week. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Shout out to Calypso. okay.
Yeah. And that was one of my bigger projects thus far. But other than that, yeah, that's where I'm going, and wherever it flourishes to, I'm here to embrace it.
Well, look, we already know how this works. One thing leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next, right?
Yes.
So you're doing it.
Thank you.
You're doing it. Taking the next right action.
Yes.
All right. So to sign off,
Yes.
the name of the show is Act Up. We acting up. We taking action in our lives to ascend. All right. To go all the way up. All right. So I know, I just got mad hype. I said we're about to go, and I sound like I'm just getting started. How can people? What is something you suggest that people do to act up today?
So I literally just made a post on my story talking about that there's about 99 days left in this year.
I saw that post.
Yeah.
You shook me to my core.
And as little or as big as that number seems, it's really little when you break it down.
It's
to
dumb
months
tiny.
and times and hours and minutes. And so what I told my audience is that, which is what I'm doing and applying, is do one thing a day towards your goal that you yet haven't achieved this year, and plan to achieve it July 1st, 2025. So whether that's research, whether that's an interview, a talk show, anything parallel to what your goal is, do that one thing a day. Because that's like the Powell effect, right? The more things you add to it, the more you manifest it, the more you see it, you envision it, you're acting towards it. No matter how sick you are, no matter life is lifing, you can take 30 minutes to an hour in your day to put it towards your career. And with 99 days left, I don't think 99 one things is a lot.
It's not.
So act up, get right,
Do one thing.
a day.
Okay. You heard? That's a great one. That's a great one. I love that one. That's one of my favorite ones so far. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
You all have been wonderful, everyone. But that's a solid one. That's a solid one. Okay. And then the last thing. If you were writing your memoir, what would you name this chapter of your life?
You had another question. You sure I'm asking that one? Okay, fine.
I asked you the other question. It was just those two.
No, was it?
It was just those two.
Maybe I had a different answer. Maybe I had two answers for the first question.
There are no wrong answers. There are no wrong answers.
Shit.
It could be cliche. It could be anything.
Being single has been a highlight of my story, my headlining of my story post, talking about it and just trying to date in this day and age, but still trying to chase my career. And so I would like to say that I am finally comfortable with being alone. So I don't know what title that can be, but I've also have spent time with myself where now when I'm in a room full of people, I'm not heavily influenced by the opinions of others, more so that I can hear my intuition speak to me clearly. Ooh. And I love that. So what would we call that?
A lot of words came up while you spoke.
Okay.
A lot of words came up. I thought of sweet solitude. I thought of divine intuition.
Ooh.
Because you did just talk a lot about, the fact that being alone has brought you to a place of having stronger intuition, which that definitely does that for me too. So
yeah.
You like divine intuition? What you like?
I like that because being alone can be scary for some people, and they'll jump into one relationship to the next.
Right.
I can't just have anybody around me.
Absolutely not.
I feel like that'll set me back.
Even being in a relationship, I need to be alone.
True. Okay.
I need my me time.
I feel alone. I just need my alone time.
Right. I need my me time. Okay.
So no, not me time. I don't know what this chapter called. I don't know.
It's up to you. You want it to be me time?
No, because I really want to find a relationship.
Okay, so divine intuition.
Okay, there we go.
Divine
intuition.
We're gonna call this chapter of JuJu's life divine intuition.
Yes. Following my gut feeling.
I love it. Everybody do that. All right. Do that. Do your one thing and make sure you subscribe to the podcast. All right. I forgot to say that earlier. Subscribe, like the video, comment, follow JuJu. Where can they follow you?
Junique Designer on IG and Junique Apparel _ also on IG for specifically the fashion page.
We'll put it in the show notes just in case as well. And you already know where I'm at, AlanaJ.tv. Act Up with AJ. That's it. We did it.
That's it, baby.
We did it. JuJu, AJ, out.